Greetings, President Mooney, faculty, Board of Trustees, honored guests, families, friends, and especially the class of 2017. It's truly an honor to once again join you on the occasion of this commencement, as I did for the past 12 years. In this journey, I salute the holy in each one of you and thank you and Franklin Pierce University for the privilege of traveling with some of you, if only for a brief time. I ask you to please be with me in a moment of silence in a spirit of prayer. Spirit of life, mystery beyond all mysteries, meaning beyond all imagining, we bow in humble thanks for this time on this shore and the many crossings throughout our learning. Now we reach an edge and there is nothing to do but dare in courage and humility to step forth and cross the next Rubicon. We do so with gratitude in our hearts for the years of learning, for teachers, true mentors, administrators, tireless staff, and deepest gratitude for the sacrifice of family who all gave so much to make this moment possible. We also give thanks for your personal sacrifice as students. We acknowledge this sea of life, accepting the humble responsibility for what it means to be alive, even as we are dwarfed by the immensity of mystery. We ask you to be present as blessing while these women and men cross from one side of this stage to the other, from one life to another life, for some from a relatively secure life of learning to the uncertainties of a weary and challenged world stretched out before them. Come, Holy of Holies, lover of creation, make pure the intentions of our hearts as we honor our graduates. Guide well our voices and thoughts, our hopes and our lives. Illumine the deep recesses of the power of free will to make a difference in this world. May these noble persons stepping up to the tasks and responsibilities of being global and local citizens meet the task of just and right stewardship to carry the torch of compassion and justice to many shores the world over. For we need you now more than ever. Come now, Spirit, to guide and inspire us in this time of commencement, this time of endings, this time of beginnings, and this time of sending forth. Amen. I'd ask you to please stand again, and I am honored to introduce the singer for the national anthem, Molly Crody, class of 17, from Saratoga Springs, New York, and also the singers, the alma mater, which will be sung by Crystal Dover, class of 17, Alexandra Benito, Kimberly Theodore, accompanied by Vladimir Odinicek.
Okay, sorry. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' regular was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, welcome family members, invited guests, faculty, and most importantly, the graduating class of 2017. I'd like to talk to you very briefly, directly to those of you who are graduating today. My predecessor, Mike Fallon, who's here with us today, said that the Board of Trustees may be volunteers, but today is our paycheck. I'd like to take a moment to talk about what it means to be a trustee. A trustee is someone to whom the care and preservation and sustainability of an institution is entrusted. Today, all of you become trustees of Franklin Pierce University. It becomes your responsibility, and hopefully your joy, to help Franklin Pierce thrive. You can do that in many ways. Stay connected with your classmates, attend university events, volunteer, and yes, provide financial support. Start soon. Get in the habit. Small amounts are okay. You can even start today. You could stop by President Mooney's office on your way out of town. Leave a tent spot on her desk. I'm not entirely kidding. That is an important part of being an alumnus and alumna. This place, the people here, your professors, coaches, deans, and staff, they care deeply about you. They've invested in you. Now let's invest in them. Congratulations, class of 2017, and thanks for the paycheck.
Good morning. Morning. Welcome. Welcome to the main campus of Franklin Pierce University. I am Kim Mooney, president of Franklin Pierce and graduate of the class of 1983. Chairman Camerino, members of the Board of Trustees, Provost Rosansky, our distinguished recipients of honorary degrees and the Peterson Citizen Leader Award, the dedicated Franklin Pierce University faculty and staff, all you family members out there and friends of our graduates, welcome. And welcome to our alumni. Thank you all for joining in together as a community to celebrate the class of 2017. And of course, the class of 2017, congratulations. Congratulations on the successes you've had as you've earned your degrees here. You are about to take another step because as you walk across this stage this morning, you will join me as a proud alum of Franklin Pierce, and you will join the ranks of the class of 1967 who walked across this stage 50 years ago and who are here with us today to celebrate your success. So let us together extend the warmest of welcomes to the members of the class of the Franklin Pierce class of 1967. In fact, would the other Franklin Pierce alumni in the audience and on the stage join them in standing? Please stand to be recognized if you are a Franklin Pierce alum. Thank you. We are Raven Nation. So what does it really mean to be a raven? In nature, the raven is widely considered to be among the smartest of all birds. Skilled flyers who are able to solve complicated problems. They remember each other and are known to work together collaboratively and cooperatively in their flocks. They are playful, adaptable, and empathetic. That description beautifully captures the essence of the ravens I see each day on this campus that I've encountered across all of our graduate centers and throughout our entire community that extends far beyond today's audience. As Franklin Pierce students, your intelligence, your skills, your ability to solve complicated problems have brought you to this moment. As Franklin Pierce graduates, as you move forward beyond Rindge, Manchester, Portsmouth, Lebanon, and Goodyear, as you begin your careers or continue on to graduate school, I call on each of you to channel our namesake. As you take flight, may you always remember a fellow raven, collaborate whenever possible, be empathetic to one another's needs, and yes, always retain your sense of play. With great pride as your president and soon to be your fellow alum, I extend my sincerest congratulations to each and every one of you in the class of 2017. So today we have two valedictorian speakers. The first speaker will be Amanda Moore, valedictorian for the College of Graduate and Professional Studies. Amanda has been a student at Franklin Pierce since 2013, and she has been taking classes through our online program. She will be graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Human Services. The second speaker will be Brandon de Grand Prix, the valedictorian for the College of Rindge. Brandon is graduating from the Rindge campus with a Bachelor of Science degree in biology with minors in mathematics and chemistry. Would Amanda Moore please come forward?
Hi, everyone. President Mooney, Provost Rozanski, honored guests, members of the board, members of the faculty, parents, friends, and fellow graduates. It is an honor to address you all today on behalf of the CGPS class of 2017. Today is a day of recognition and celebration, as well as a farewell. As we look ahead to our future, I would like to address the importance of being an educated individual in today's world, what my time at Franklin Pierce has meant to me, and also share my hopes and dreams with you all. I suppose the best way to do this would be to share some of the things I didn't know before starting with Franklin Pierce, and thus some of the valuable things I've learned in my time here. For example, before attending college, I didn't know that once you graduate, your student loan monthly payment can be equal to your mortgage. I also didn't know that it was possible to have respectful, professional conversations with others that disagree with your opinion regarding controversial topics. As the great Robert Frost once said, education is the ability to listen to almost anything without losing your temper or your self-confidence. Countless threaded discussions have taught us how to do exactly this, to have respectful, enlightening conversations while expanding and reworking our own ideas. I've learned that renting textbooks is an absolute life changer and is crucial in a world where the newest edition will set you back about the cost of a month's worth of groceries. Before starting at Franklin Pierce, I had no idea how difficult it would be to balance life and school, especially as an adult. Ultimately, though, this has led us to develop better problem-solving skills, as having a work presentation, final exams, doctor's appointments, family events, and so forth, all scheduled in the same week, is quite character building. I also didn't know how truly incredible and inspiring my classmates would be. Having the opportunity to return to college as an adult has introduced me to amazing people. Veterans, moms, dads, grandparents, service workers, heroes. I remember in one class, a peer of mine seemed to be offline for a few days. Upon her return, she apologized for missing class, as she was at the hospital having a baby. She returned only 5 days later, for real. That's really what my classmates are doing. Completing a degree while also living your life is no easy feat, so I want to recognize and congratulate all of you on this tremendous achievement. I've also learned that if you wait until the last minute to submit an assignment, your computer will inevitably crash. I've also learned that throwing said computer will not fix the problem. Instead, it will end with you going to the local electronics store at 9 p.m. to buy a new one. When I first started with Franklin Pierce, finishing a degree seemed like an insurmountable task. But we have successfully spent years researching late into the night, writing papers all weekend long, reading while cooking dinner, in an attempt to balance our education with the rest of our lives. Many of us work full-time, perhaps even with an additional second or third part-time job. While it hasn't been an easy journey, it's been completely worthwhile and has left us with a meaningful sense of accomplishment. 4 years ago, I had no idea how much my professors, classmates, and experience would shape who I've become. Another wise man and personal inspiration of mine, Ralph Waldo Emerson, has argued that what we have learned from others becomes our own reflection. I find this to be true time and time again in my own pursuit of education. What we observe, learn, and understand in our interactions with others becomes part of who we are. Sharing the struggles of classmates has humbled me. Our professors' insights have led me to think outside the box and look at things from a different perspective. You have all helped to make me who I am today. I have learned that people still hate the dreaded group projects that we had in high school. I had no idea that college courses on various topics would teach me so much about life. While learning not to end a sentence with a preposition and statistical significance are very important concepts to learn, it is the deeper influence of who we become that is the ultimate result of our schooling. My time at Franklin Pierce has shifted many of my previously held paradigms and taught me to question the world around us. For example, by learning to look at inequality from a perspective of opportunity and institutional factors rather than of one of meritocracy, uncovering societal factors that perpetuate addiction rather than assigning personal blame, and utilizing culturally relativistic perspectives to view other cultures, my education has greatly influenced how I understand and interact with the world. Ultimately, our experiences at Franklin Pierce have allowed us to realize just how lucky we are for the opportunity to pursue our studies. We have discovered that, on an institutional level, one's opportunities and general life experiences are drastically affected by race, gender, and class. In realizing that I didn't know this prior to my time here, it becomes apparent that post-secondary education is paramount to understanding how societal dynamics affect each and every one of us. In this sense, we cannot hope to improve the issues of our society, poverty, inequality, systemic racism, sexism, addiction, without the education on how to do so. Education has the power to change the world for the better, and I am so thankful that I have had the opportunity to discover this. It is my hope that all of you here today will become ambassadors of education by elevating its importance in today's world in any form that it might present itself. We cannot hope to better our lives and those of future generations without the passion everyone here has brought to the world of education. We must be thankful for our opportunities, cognizant of the tremendous self-growth such opportunities have given us, and mindful in doing our best to ensure equal opportunities are extended to absolutely everyone. I've also learned that my husband, Adam, is a terrific cook who only whines a little bit when he has to make dinner every night while I study. I've also learned that he's my biggest supporter, encourager, and best friend. I simply cannot thank him enough for all he's done for me. I would not be standing here today without him. Above all else, my experience with education here has continued to spark my curiosity about everything. When we learn more, we realize how much we didn't know before, and thus how much there is still left to learn. I want to keep learning, keep growing, keep changing, keep asking questions, and I encourage the rest of you to do the same. We are beyond lucky to be able to pursue higher education with the support and encouragement of the people we love, learn about the world around us, learn from our professors, and from each other. Let's keep learning. Congratulations to the class of 2017.
Hello. Gonna keep it brief for you all. President Mooney, honored guests, members of the board, faculty and staff, parents, friends, welcome. To the class of 2017, congratulations. We'll start off with a little story. About a month ago, I was on my way to class when I got an email from my advisor, Professor Brezovic, which contained 3 words in the subject line: "You're in trouble." I thought, well, that can't be right. I swear I told the stats students how to do their homework the right way, or maybe they just had a test. Maybe I told them the wrong thing. And then it hit me. After attending Dr. Bennett's medical terminology class, and wait for it, it's about to get sciencey in here, we were learning about percutaneous transluminal coronary balloon angioplasty with stent and cabbage. And before you ask, no, not the vegetable. I finally made it to Professor Brezovic's office, and he broke the news to me. I was the class valedictorian. We talked for a little while, and he told me I would have the honor of giving a speech. He mentioned another valedictorian who had once made this astute comment: "If I had known doing this well would have gotten me here, I wouldn't have gotten such good grades." I can certainly relate to that. Now that I am tasked with having to come up with something profound to say to you all today, those 3 words, "You're in trouble," seem quite apropos. I have been thinking about what I wanted to say today for about a month. To be truthful, I feel completely unqualified to give life advice. It took a while to write something that I would even be able to present to you today, and I decided in a most college student fashion to procrastinate. I thought if I put it off, I'd be older and therefore more wiser when I wrote it. It thankfully worked this time. However, I'm painfully reminded of last semester when I spent 22 hours in a row writing 6 labs in my biochemistry notebook the day before it was due. So don't follow my example, that's bad advice. Some advice can only be given by people who are older, more educated, and who have more life experience than I do. I can't tell you how to raise children, how to balance family and work, or how to ensure your financial security. But hopefully what I can impart to you, if anything, is how I believe in living. Maybe some of you will take this with you when you leave here. I have had the honor and pleasure of being a tutor for 7 of my 8 semesters here, tutoring calculus, algebra and trigonometry, physics and statistics, with some chemistry on the side. I can say without a doubt that tutoring has been one of the most rewarding experiences I have ever had. The ability to meet new people, deal with challenges that come your way, and most importantly, to help people is a feeling like any other. The last of these points is what has driven me constantly to learn and do better. I'm not sure what I want to pursue in my life, but I will count whatever I do a success if I can help people and make a difference. Some of you may have had the same opportunities I have had. Whether you've worked as a tutor like me, or as an EMT on campus, if you volunteered off campus, or worked as a student worker in the library, I believe any person has the capacity to change the life of another for the better. Having the ability to make another person happier is of no small importance. People will always remember you not for what you say or do, but for how you make them feel. When I can impact someone in a positive way, it is so rewarding and reminds me of why I do what I do. I believe it is important to have a keen self-awareness and understanding of what it is that drives you. So, class of 2017, I charge you to go forward from here and find your way to make a difference. Whatever it is that you do, do it to the best of your abilities. Anything less, and it's not worth doing. It's hard work and takes some soul searching, but nothing in life is more rewarding than when your success is both a product of both dedication and devotion. In paving the way for your success, be aggressive and be adventurous. Always take the time to learn new things. Work hard and strive every day to achieve excellence, but don't fear the failures. You can learn too from these mistakes. And always remember that when it becomes overwhelming, learn to laugh and smile. Take a break once in a while just to find a thrilling Netflix show. Just binge watch it. If you need any suggestions, come find me after. Today is a bittersweet moment for many, myself included. For the past 4 years, Franklin Pierce has been our home, filled with friends and family who we will call family for many years to come. Some of you may have come here not knowing who you were, and somewhere amid the chaos of presentations, papers, and exams, have shared laughs, late-night snacks, and occasional tears that have shown you who you are and what you want from life. Some of you sitting here may know exactly what the plan is as soon as this is over, and some of you may not, but regardless, we are greatly privileged to take with us the knowledge we have gained here into the world and use that to make a difference. I know that we are all capable of contributing something great. I wish you all the best of luck and continued success in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda and Brandon. The practice of universities awarding honorary degrees dates to the Middle Ages as a way to honor an individual with the most prestigious recognition, the academic degree. Academic institutions typically suspend the requirements for a degree, usually at the doctoral level, as a way to honor individuals for noble service to their professions or to others. Dr. Muiman, please come forward. Would Provost Rosansky and the Honorable Barney Frank please come forward?
It is with great pleasure that I read this citation for Barney Frank. The Honorable Barney Frank is a masterful politician whose advocacy for the vulnerable populations of our society has profoundly impacted public policy, ranging from financial reform to the environment, as well as gay and civil rights. Barney's service to the country as a Democratic member of the U.S. House for more than 20 years demonstrated courage and care for the American people and for the people of Massachusetts. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren said, "He worked his heart out for the people of his district, fighting hard for everyone from the fishermen on the South Coast to working families in the Boston suburbs." She went on to say, "Everyone knew Barney, and people knew they could count on his office when they needed help." Barney's public life has been about equity. His ability to navigate dissenting opinions, build bridges, and accomplish challenging objectives is extraordinary, and the fact that he did so with integrity and unwavering commitment to his convictions is unmatched. He was described by his friend Mark Sullivan, the retired executive director of Citizens for Citizens, as a pragmatic ideologue. The former Treasury Secretary, Henry M. Paulson, said of Barney that he is a man of boundless energy. Both men noted that Barney's wit is as sharp as his unbelievable intellect. Barney has been a leader in the fight against all forms of discrimination. In particular, he led the efforts to build and preserve affordable rental housing for low-income Americans. He led efforts to protect equal rights for same-sex couples, men and women and people of color, and he led efforts to conserve the resources of our planet and defend the species who inhabit it. While in Congress, Barney worked to adjust America's spending priorities in favor of quality of life measures. Henry Paulson remarked that the nation was fortunate to have Barney at the helm of the House Financial Services Committee to stave off economic catastrophe during the 2008 financial crisis. Barney understood finance, markets, and politics. He was a master at negotiating and legislating, and he had the fortitude to take action, even when it was difficult or unpopular. Barney Frank devoted himself to the adoption of a sweeping set of financial regulations, the most significant this country has seen since the Great Depression, as co-author of the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. Elizabeth Warren said, "Our financial system is safer and more stable thanks to Barney's leadership, and our country is a better place for his service." In 1987, Barney became the first member of Congress to voluntarily acknowledge that he is gay, and in 2012, he became the first member of Congress to marry a same-sex partner, James Reddy. His friend Mark Sullivan said, "Marrying Jim was one of the best things to ever happen to him." Whereas Barney Frank has courageously represented vulnerable populations of American citizens in practice and policy, and whereas he protected the American economy in its time of greatest needs during the 21st century, and whereas he has executed a devoted career in public service to the United States of America and to the people of Massachusetts with intellect, wit, and humor to be admired, Franklin Pierce is proud, on the 13th day of May 2017, to confer upon the Honorable Barney Frank the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Pierce University, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Thank you. Having put in 5 years as a graduate student with a doctoral degree, the theoretical goal, it's nice to get this one in compensation. I am very grateful to Franklin Pierce and to the people who have participated for the wonderful things that you just heard said about me. I'm especially grateful at a time when people wonder whether we have any way to have cooperation across partisan lines, to my former colleague in the Massachusetts State Legislature, Andy Card. I'm not here to sell my book, the memoir that I published in 2015. But if you buy it and you look at the photographic section, you will see a picture of the Massachusetts State House softball team in 1976, which includes both me and Andy. He's kneeling down. You'll recognize him. And that's really what I want to talk about briefly. And I know when you speak at a commencement, people are here, the graduates, proud of their accomplishments, the parents and relatives even prouder of what they've been able to do. There's always a great worry, I understand, as to what the speech is going to be about. So I just want to reassure you, it's going to be about 5 minutes. And I take my text to some extent from the first of the valedictory speeches, that reference to the ability to disagree honorably, civilly, without getting too personal. And I'm very proud of being a partisan Democrat, and Andy Card was proud of being a partisan Republican, and there were times when we debated very sharply. But never did that lead either of us to question the other's integrity or commitment, and it did not prevent us from working together on those occasions when we did have a common purpose. And that's what I want to talk about today in America. And we are in a situation, not just in America, but in the world, in which I am told the voters are angry. And there is a global effort, a global outburst in areas where there are votes, where the voters are mad at their politicians. And the voters want to punish the politicians because they believe that the people they have elected to office haven't tried hard enough. And in response, I believe they are too prone to accept simplistic solutions to complex problems. Let me first repeat what I just said. The voters are mad at the people they elected to office. Well, whose fault is that? Tip O'Neill, one of the great politicians in American history, and I cite politician as a profession of some honor essential to any democratic society, people would tell him they were unhappy with the House of Representatives and the way they were functioning when he was the Speaker, and he would point to the House and say, you know what? There isn't anybody in there who parachuted through the dome. Nobody came from Mars. Nobody sits in the U.S. House of Representatives and get more votes than anybody else in the last election from the people who chose to vote. And I will say this, if you are among those who was very disappointed in the politicians, I'm not asking for a show of hands, but let me just say to you this. If you could not tell me right now who represents you in the House of Representatives and the Senate and the state legislature of the state in which you live, and when the primary election is going to be approximately the next time they're up, then you have no right to complain, because you are complicit in the perpetuation of those things which you tell me you don't like. And now I want to give one more defense to the politicians, and that is one reason, a major reason, why you don't get better results is that the problems are hard. We live in a private sector society by preference, and I like that. If problems can be resolved easily, if you can make a profit out of doing it, if you can get people to do it voluntarily, then we leave it to the private sector. That's better. Problems don't come to government unless they're hard, unless they're difficult, unless they cost more money than people are voluntarily going to put out. So that's the first aspect about government. And the proof that the problems that government has to resolve are harder than people give them credit for. From that, I will quote from a man with whom I am not always and entirely in agreement, the President of the United States, Donald Trump. On two of the major issues facing him, how to restructure the health care of this country and how to keep that lunatic in North Korea from getting nuclear weapons, President Trump has said something very important. This is harder than I thought. He said that health care, who knew it was so complicated? With regard to North Korea, he said he had to have the explanation from the president of China, President Xi, about the complexity of the North Korean-Chinese relationship. In both cases, he was quite right. What he was pointing out is that it is hard to figure out how to provide health care appropriately and hard to figure out how to stop these people in North Korea from threatening other people's lives. And it's not because people aren't trying. There are various different solutions that are legitimate. What I would ask people to accept is that the major reason we haven't been able to do a better job in the very complex, difficult problems that are faced by government is not that the people in office are bums or incompetent or dishonest or don't care. If you believe that, by the way, you're being very critical of the voters. I mean, what would be the matter with people who would vote consistently for incompetence? The problem is that when we talk about the problems that go to government, they are the hardest ones to solve. And I hope that people will keep in mind what the President has said, that the reason there are not quick and simple solutions to the most important problems that the government deals with is that they're hard, that they are complex, that there are conflicting values, that there are people who have different stakes. And so with the education you've gotten and the critical and analytical skills you've acquired, I hope you'll keep that in mind. And as I said again, I was very pleased that the first valedictory speaker noted the importance of dealing with these, and it is entirely legitimate for people to have very different approaches. But this notion that if only we got better people in office, honest people, people who really cared, these problems could be easily solved, will only make things worse. As new graduates, people who have gotten the good education you have gotten, I welcome you to joining even more than you've been able to before with your studies as part of your agenda, into participating in the hard intellectual job of figuring out how to resolve them. Thank you.
Would trustee Steve Camerino please come forward? Would Provost Rosansky and Michael Fallon please come forward?
Dedicated, diligent, determined. Michael C.J. Fallon has always loved to fix things and solve problems. His favorite childhood toy was undoubtedly a Tinker toy or an erector set, said his friend and former colleague, Richard Scarlatta, retired president and CEO of Rockefeller Center Properties. Such a plaything might have foreshadowed the blueprints of Michael's successful future, as well as a lifelong passion. A passion he fortunately shares with his wife, Georgianne, who, in addition to raising 2 children and 3 grandchildren with Michael, has always been his partner in renovation. Together, they have spent years of their free time remodeling, fixing up, and tinkering with old houses. They wouldn't take on just any house, said Michael's friend and former colleague at United Water Resources, former chairman and CEO Donald L. Carell, who noted that they only pursued the toughest of architectural challenges. Just when you'd think they'd be ready to kick back and enjoy the fruits of their labor, recalled Scarlatta, they would move on to another challenge. His personal penchant for tackling tough challenges and solving them mirrors Michael's professional accomplishments. Described by his colleagues as a collegial and sincere leader with a wonderfully contagious sense of humor, Michael has always led with a positive outlook, rolling up his sleeves to squarely face a problem. Over the course of his career, Michael has created value and solved problems across a spectrum of asset types and organizations throughout North America. As a principal and senior officer of a number of major national real estate organizations, Michael has developed broad and diverse expertise in analyzing and structuring creative solutions to complex problems, as well as a track record of successful assignments on behalf of major corporations, financial institutions, and government agencies. As Michael was preparing to retire from professional life, he decided to lend his expertise to a number of boards, including the Franklin Pierce University Board of Trustees, which he served for 8 years, the last 3 as chairman. During that time, the university dealt head-on with a number of significant challenges as it sought to transform itself during a period of extraordinary change in higher education. Michael's calm demeanor, steady hand, and cool head made him the perfect board chair during this period, and his diligence, dedication, and determination were critical to ensuring that the university navigated those changes and challenges successfully. Reflecting on his years working with Michael Fallon, Don Carell said, "No matter the challenge, even those beyond his specific areas of responsibility, he worked tirelessly to achieve the objectives. I have no doubt that Mike brought these same qualities to bear during his time at Franklin Pierce." Well, Mike absolutely did, and in ways that most of us in the Franklin Pierce community will never know. For that, and for his selfless commitment to Franklin Pierce, Mike's fellow trustees and the university will be forever indebted. Whereas Michael C.J. Fallon selflessly served Franklin Pierce University, whereas he has brought about great change and progress on behalf of major corporations, financial institutions, and government agencies, and whereas he has done so with a cheerful and sincere interest in the cause, Franklin Pierce University is proud on this 13th day of May 2017 to confer upon Mr. Fallon the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
By virtue of authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Pierce University, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Hi. I am sincerely thankful and humbled by this honor, and it is truly an honor. But I'd like to accept this not so much as an individual, but as part of a partnership. A partnership formed over 50 years ago with my best friend and my life's partner, my wife, Georgianne. Everything good in my life, including today, I owe to her and I share with her. And now that at least one person is going to like my speech, let me see what I've got for the rest of you. I'd like to speak as best I can directly to my new classmates of the class of 2017. Thanks for bringing me along at the end of your long journey. I think what they do with folks like myself at these kind of commencement exercises is that they find somebody in the class who's a lot closer to his sell-by date than the rest of the classmates. And they try to find some way that they can look back over the decades since I sat in the chairs that you're in right now and come up with a few ideas, a few suggestions, something that's going to make things maybe a little easier, maybe a little more satisfying. One of the first things I learned as a young lieutenant was that it was advisable to learn from the mistakes of others because, as was pointed out to me, it was unlikely we would live long enough to make them all ourselves. And as I thought about, what am I going to say to you guys? How do I cross a chasm of 50 years and life's experiences and just time? How do I find some strands of meaning that unite us, some unifying factors that we can share with each other? It's presumptive of me, but when you give an Irishman a microphone and an audience, you know I'm going to try. I came up with two thoughts. One is a bit of a challenge, and the other is maybe a solution. We'll see. And what I'm going to comment on, I realized as I was listening to the valedictory remarks and listening to Barney's comments, there's some thematic similarities. You know, I write this stuff in my office for the last month, and Barney thought about it probably after breakfast because he does this all the time, and the valedictorians have been working on it for years. But there's something thematically similar about what we're going to bring to you. Maybe that means it's worth underlining twice in yellow highlighter. Throughout my personal and professional life, I have regularly been offered simple solutions to complex problems. They have almost always been wrong. I challenge you with that information because you too will regularly be offered simple solutions to the issues of your world: cultural, economic, political, spiritual. And I think it is legitimately incumbent upon you to use your intellectual powers to think critically, to render researched, reasoned, and defensible opinions on the issues that you will face. The purpose of your time here at Franklin Pierce University was not to get a job, buy a house, or to build up a 401k account. If that's why you came here, you wasted your time, you wasted your money. The skills that you have developed, the intellectual skills, are not yours to keep. You are to use them and improve upon them. Today, you join an interesting cadre. According to the people who keep track of these things, about 6% of the entire world's population has achieved what you will achieve today, a baccalaureate or higher degree. 6%. Now, college degrees, as I've frequently proven, is not a sole indicator of intelligence, but it is, in fact, an affirmation of your capacity to learn, to research, analyze, debate, theorize, to think critically. And you have been taught to think, not what to think. The burden of the opinions, actions, and conclusions that you will render are yours and yours alone. They should never be waived, and they must never be taken from you. Please do respect the challenge of your own beliefs And do not become so enamored with the soundness of your own opinions that they blind you from the frailty of the truth. We live in a fragile and complex world, and the freedoms that we enjoy are not yet universal. The dignity, humanity, and freedoms of the world that you will now lead and the world that you will deliver to my grandchildren, those freedoms, they survive on the wings of butterflies through thoughtful, respectful, pragmatic discourse. Your challenge is to do that thinking, to lead that discourse. My second thought for you is on the subject of success. And I'm sure today many of you feel rather successful, and well, you should. And everybody will continue to wish you success. But success, like so many things, absent some definition, well, if you're not quite sure where you're going, any road will get you there. So let me offer you this one. To laugh often and much. To win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children. To earn the appreciation of honest critics and to endure the betrayal of false friends. To appreciate beauty. To find the best in others. To leave the world a bit better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know that even one life has breathed easier because you lived. This is to have succeeded. And may you and all those who follow you through this university find true success. And may you have the wisdom to know it when you've done so. Good luck.
Would Dr. Jessica Landis please come forward? Would Trustee Steve Camerino and Laura Canoy please come forward?
At 9 a.m. each morning across the state of New Hampshire, Laura Canoy discusses the important issues of our time with unwavering professionalism. Preparing unique, in-depth coverage day after day and presenting it with a sense of humor is no easy feat, but it is one that Laura achieves with genuine humility. She always goes into each show prepared for whomever she is interviewing, no matter the topic, said Dan Colgan, operations manager and announcer on the New Hampshire Public Radio's The Exchange. While we strive to put on a professional show each day, we also have fun doing it. Laura has a great sense of humor, which makes working with her day to day fun to do. Laura is an exceptional journalist and person with impeccable instincts for crafting fair and even-handed discussions, remarked Ellen Grimm, senior producer of The Exchange. Lawmakers of all political persuasions are made to feel welcome and respected on The Exchange, and it's why they come on the show time and time again. Republicans, Democrats, liberals, conservatives, libertarians, they all like and respect Laura. That says a lot in this time of polarization and also skepticism and even outright hostility toward many in the media, Grimm added. It is her dedication, discipline, and focus that allow Laura to craft such thoughtful and probing discussions. Laura's talent as an excellent writer contributes to her success, and she is no stranger to research. Prior to her radio career, Laura was a researcher for USA Today's Money section and a research assistant at the Institute for International Economics. This proficiency has undoubtedly served her well ever since in her roles as a newscaster for NPR, as a local reporter and announcer for WAMU, and in public radio in Washington, D.C. Laura occasionally hosts national programs such as The Diane Rehm Show and Here and Now, and in 2007, this Keene High School graduate was named a New Hampshire Broadcaster of the Year by the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters. But perhaps greater than all of her accolades and accomplishments is Laura's ability to be successful while treating her colleagues and friends with respect and kindness. In an extremely high-pressured environment with daily deadlines and the pressures of live broadcasts, I have never heard her utter a harsh or impatient word toward anyone, Grimm said. That's extraordinary. She is a very, very, very busy person, added her best friend, Christina Levine. But I can always, and I mean always, count on Laura to make time for our friendship. She creates time when she has no time. I trust her and I have her trust. Friends like that mean everything. Whereas Laura Canoy has served the state of New Hampshire with in-depth coverage of important issues, including those that affect the higher education sector. Whereas she bridges party lines to facilitate political discussion and public discourse. And whereas she does so with humility, professionalism, and a sense of humor, Franklin Pierce University is proud on this 13th day of May, 2017, to confer upon Laura Canoy the Honorable Walter R. Peterson Citizen Leader Award.
We are delighted to bestow upon Laura Canoy, with great honor and respect, the 2017 Honorable Walter R. Peterson Citizen Leader Award.
Congratulations, graduates. And I think the rain's going to hold off for you, so I'm really excited about that. On May 16th, 2008, I had dinner with Walter Peterson. So it means a lot to me that I'm now standing here before you, almost 9 years to the day, receiving this award in Governor Peterson's name. That year, I was the graduation speaker at White Mountain Community College in Berlin, and after the ceremony, Governor Peterson and I had no dinner plans, so we dined together at a restaurant in Gorham. There were lots of stories. We were there for a long time. Lots of jokes were told, and I wish I could remember one so that I could share it with you today, but I don't. What I do remember is everybody said about Walter Peterson was so true. He was a model of civility. That seems to be a theme at your graduation today. And that's the value that I try to bring to my work at New Hampshire Public Radio. I try to keep my program a welcoming space for people to talk about what matters most to the Granite State. However, of course, there is a lot of disagreement among the guests or between the guests and the listeners. I remember the angry voices of listeners during the Clinton impeachment, during the Bush versus Gore undecided election, during the debate over the run-up to the Iraq War. People were upset. People were angry. People needed a place where they could share their frustrations and their views and know that they would not be mistreated, and that is the space that I have tried to create for them. We've done some tough shows on some tough topics, and personally, I don't always like or agree with what everyone says. But here's what I do love: hearing different points of view, having my head and my heart stretched on a regular basis. I've often regarded my work as a blend of sociology, psychology, and anthropology. What makes people act the way they do? What makes people think the way that they do? Now, my friends, including Christina, who was just quoted, often don't get it, and about once a week, one of them will call me and say, "How could you talk to that person? I was yelling at the radio while he or she was speaking." I get this all the time. And I say, it doesn't bother me because I'm really just genuinely interested in how people think, in what motivates them to do the things they do. The only thing that bothers me is when someone is a mic hog. You Fitzwater students will know what I'm talking about. Then it's my job to step in and make sure everybody gets an equal opportunity to make his or her point, to hear them and make sure they feel understood. I think Walter Peterson was that way too, and for those of you who knew him, you know that I'm telling the truth here. He would argue to present his views. Certainly he was governor, so he had to do that. But his friends say he would never, ever, ever demonize his opponents, ever. and would work just till he sweated to find common ground, to solve those complex problems that Barney Frank talked about. But he would do so in a civil way. And couldn't we use a little bit more of that right now? We've got big challenges in front of us in this country. We've got big challenges in front of us in this state. And I think a little dose of Walter Peterson would be a big, big help. The problem is, and you all know this, civility doesn't fit in our current culture. Being polite doesn't get you millions of views on YouTube. Seeking common ground isn't going to be widely shared on Facebook or Instagram. I've got 2 teenage boys. I know what they watch. It's not going to be a show called The Respectful Roundtable. That's just not going to be a binge watch on Netflix. Today, what gets eyeballs, or what we in the media call clickbait, what gets attention is being outrageous. Be angry. Be violent. Yeah, that's good. Or just be really clever and, yeah, kind of mean while you roast your opponent. And that's entertaining, but it's also damaging when it comes time to grow up and come together and solve the problems that we face. So here's the challenge for you graduates. How do you make civility and understanding sexy? How do you make it clickbait? How do you sell it in a political and cultural climate that seems uninterested? As a guide, the man who I am honored to represent today, Walter Peterson, let's look to his kindness. Kindness. Be kind. That's a good first step, isn't it? Humor. Walter was a funny guy, and everyone who knew him knows that. And compassion. Let's look to that Walter Peterson example. I believe his way really is the only way that we are going to succeed as a society. My wish for you, the class of 2017, is that you will please adopt that spirit of Walter Peterson and seek common ground with kindness. Before I close, I did want to offer just a few words to the graduating class. And I remember my graduation day so well. About half of my class was going on to graduate school or law school or had a job. I had no prospects at all, so for those of you who have no idea what you're going to do tomorrow, I'm with you. My first job out of college, I had no other prospects, so I worked part-time in college to make money. So my first full-time job out of college was just making that part-time job full-time. It was a terrible job. It was working at a minimum wage as a secretary at a typing agency. Do typing agencies still exist? I don't know. I think the graduates are like, what's a typing agency? Anyway, my boss had a terrible temper. She was always fighting with our customers. One of my main jobs was to file lawsuits in small claims court against our clients. It was a horrible first job. Not a stellar start to the stellar career that you just heard about. So here's my message to you. Work hard, of course. That goes without saying. You know that. But don't worry. Don't worry. The things are going to work out for you. They will work out for you. Just not exactly in the way that you plan, and probably not as fast as you want. But don't worry. Thank you so much for this award. Congratulations.
Good morning, everybody. This is the time you've been waiting for. Yeah. Okay. So, As provost, it's my great honor to present the candidates for the degrees. So would the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy please rise? President Mooney, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates who have successfully completed curricula offered by Franklin Pierce University and been recommended by their faculty to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Pierce University, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Physical Therapy with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. The names of the graduates will be read by Professor of Physical Therapy Ann Coventry.
Louis John Cassidy. Christopher Michael Conti. Amanda Kelly Crowell. Alejandro Gerardo Cruz. Eileen Dalton. Renee Elizabeth Delaney. Grayson James Grzgorczyk. Nicholas A. Heafield. Jessica Marie Hergott. Samantha Ann Hetzel. Laurel Williams Horn. Brandon Michael Jackson. James William Kennedy, Jr. Jack James Lafreniere. Matthew David Lambert. Okay. I know it. Catlin Ray Liley. Emily Kate Leibarger. Caitlin Teresa Marsili. Erica D. Mignol. Christine Josie Moss. Melanie Mary Newman. Claire Ruth Pappas. Jessica Ann Perna. Ashley Kristen Russell. Nicole S. Slabinski. Nora M. Snow. Justin Lee Turnus. Pamela Marie Tucker. Amber L. Wallace. Martha Leah Wells. And Colin B. Widhue.
The the candidates of the Master of Science in Information Technology Management, please rise. The candidates for the Master of Science in Nursing, please rise. The candidates for the Master of Education, please rise. The candidates for the Master of Business Administration will please rise. The candidates for the Master of Physician Assistant Studies will please rise. President Mooney, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates who have successfully completed curricula offered by Franklin Pierce University and been recommended by the faculty to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Pierce University, I do hereby confer upon you master degrees with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Rachel Elizabeth Adams. Maureen Allen. Maria Victoria Gilbert. Melinda Linnane. Erica M. Seitz. Kaylee J. Atkin. Jennifer K. Bergeron. Rebecca Jane Bilodeau. Taylor Deva Cohen. Amanda Marie Ady. Kendall Ann Armstrong. Drew Ryan Bennett. Drew's diploma will be presented by his father, Tom Bennett, who is a Franklin Pierce University faculty member. Alyssa Grace Borelli. Kimani Brickhouse. Haley Diane Brown. Ashley Buck. A.G. Alexander Kiguchi. Elisa Sir Cochran. Elizabeth Ray Cote. Amber Lorna Dempster. Tessa Marie Drake. Connor John Foley. Okay. Elizabeth Ann Hadley Frattini. Diamond M. Gardner. Andrew J. Cady. Daphne Joelle Leon. Tyler J. Lucier. Scott William Martin. Jeremy T. Moynihan. Okay. Brian Christopher O'Neill. Okay. Jason Robert Pranulis. Brittany Lauren Rather. Ellen M. Roy. Sydney R. Stengel. Mania Brittany Tonye. Haley Jane White. Elvir Zulkik. Tasha M. Gallup.
The candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree will please rise. President Mooney, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates who have successfully completed curricula offered by Franklin Pierce University and been recommended by the faculty to be awarded their degree in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Pierce University, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. The names of the graduates will be read by Professor of Biology and Environmental Science, Jacques Bayeux.
Brandon Tyler DeGrandpré, summa cum laude. Aiden Abafazli. Tabitha Lynn Anderson, magna cum laude. Erin Catherine Baronis. Jessica Lee Boudreau. Beverly A. Belanger. Kirsten Marie Baller, summa cum laude. Gary James Benedetti, Jr. Patrick James Bilodeau. Drew Wesley Boyce, magna cum laude. Alexander James Bonito, cum laude. Stephanie Boss, cum laude. Norma Carolyn Bork Pimentel. Jane Elizabeth Boylan, cum laude. Nicholas Tucker Bradshaw. Mitchell Bronig. Gregory Ian Brunette. Morgan Danielle Case, magna cum laude. Dana Michelle Campbell, magna cum laude. Michael Roy Capucci, cum laude. Casey Joe Carroll, magna cum laude. Francesca Carty, summa cum laude. Alexa Casara, magna cum laude. Samantha Lynn Cassell, magna cum laude. Joshua Manuel Castro. Paige Lynn Caswell. Nicholas A. Saballero. Nicole Alexis Chait, cum laude. Catherine Margaret Charette. Cindy Chatterpole, cum laude. Hongda Chen, magna cum laude. Amanda Jane Sharelli, cum laude. Mark Joseph Schwanier, magna cum laude. James R. Winston Churchill, cum laude. Yasmin Sivan. Tyler Matthew Colavita. Amanda Lynn Connors. Taylor Dawn Cookson, cum laude. Marissa Shirley Kudamash, magna cum laude. Dylan Derek Crowley. Nina M. Danforth, cum laude. Anthony Paul DiApril. Andrew DeFonte, summa cum laude. Jordan Elizabeth de Grandpre, cum laude. John R. Delahanty, magna cum laude. Pamela Lynn Denome. Alyssa Rose DeSanti, summa cum laude. Sarah Ruthman Dieltz, summa cum laude. Wendy Lee Di Pasquale, summa cum laude. Stephen DiTullio. Kelly Ann Donahue, cum laude. Caitlin Marie Douglas. Brian Dunleavy. Dimitri A. Elias, cum laude. Andrea Lee Fahey, cum laude. Jessa Aaron Fahey. Michael J. Famiglietti, magna cum laude. Madison Jean Finlay. Madeline Graham Bridget Flannery. Catherine Ann Flynn. Kristen Desiree Foster. Alex Harmon Frey. Catherine Shan Frost. Miranda Florence Gagnon. Richard Carr Gagnon, Jr., magna cum laude. Fabiola Garçon. Rachel Marie Giannino, summa cum laude. Cameron Blake Gilbert. Caitlin M. Gotti, summa cum laude. Ronald Paul Green. Matthew Gregoire, magna cum laude. Ronald J. Hagstrom, Jr., magna cum laude. Ronald Hagstrom, Sr., Franklin Pierce University staff member, and Ron's father will present his diploma. Shay Harold Hill. Leah Horde, summa cum laude. Adam Michael Holmes. Joshua Holt. Anna Holtzschlag. Kyle Anderson Hood. Morgan Elizabeth Humphrey, summa cum laude. Denise Lynn Hunt. Kaylee Laura Jacobson, cum laude. Alexandra Helen Jankowski. Andrew Paul Jean. Rebecca Cavlin Joseph, magna cum laude. Mark B. Jocelyn. Kaylin Dale Jutnan. Donald Allen Kello. Kennedy Marie Kelly. Marissa O. Ketterman, cum laude. Robert J. Canute, cum laude. Robert E. Lavalle. Andrew Martin Lavoie, magna cum laude. Jordan Peter Lee Lagarda. Emily Ann LeBlanc. Ryan James Leclerc. Taylor Marie Leininger. Christina Jane Leonard, cum laude. Colleen Patricia Leonardi, magna cum laude. Kyle Mark Libachevsky, cum laude. Holly Lindo, magna cum laude. John Lockhead, cum laude. Michael Lavello. Narissa Carlene Lumbra, magna cum laude. Morgan Madison Lundy, summa cum laude. Brittany Marie Lutz. Duncan John McDonald. Justin Mancini, cum laude. Mallory Margaret Marchand, magna cum laude. Michelle Margaret Marchand, magna cum laude. Joshua William Martin. Sarah Ann McIntosh, magna cum laude. Benjamin J. Mead, magna cum laude. Cassidy M. Mello, cum laude. Dage Tico Miners. Liam Graham Maloney, magna cum laude. Scarlett Moore, magna cum laude. Brandon Wynn. Nicole O'Doherty, magna cum laude. Shannon Rebecca O'Leary, cum laude. Honeywell Amovo. Shannon M. O'Neill, magna cum laude. Ariana Clyde Peone. Nicholas Park, cum laude. Needy Patel. Matthew M. Parati, cum laude. Madeline Perry. James Arthur Pierce, magna cum laude. Nicole Catherine Piggott. Eric Q. Pilgrim, cum laude. Matthew Lawrence Pinto, cum laude. Francis J. Pizzarella. Kendra Lynn Plant, cum laude. Robin Anna Podolak. Stephanie Michelle Presti. Alicia Michelle Ramo. Jason Reed Jr. Adi Rejwan, summa cum laude. Liana May Richards, cum laude. Kevin Ernesto Rivera. Bradley David Roberto, magna cum laude. Mark S. Roche. Jeffrey Matthew Dexter Round. Cheyenne Paige Routhier. Rachel E. Skasha. Lauren Grace Schaefer. Casey Shell. Alexander Thomas Schlipper, magna cum laude. Patrick Stephen Shaw. Carly Lynn Shugart. Colin R. Skinner. Brian Lee Smith, Jr. Joshua Thomas Smith, summa cum laude. Bree Soulier, cum laude. Joseph Michael Souza. Cody Michael Steed. Ryan S. Tabor. Olivia Catherine Jayanthi Talbert, cum laude. Alexandria Nicole Talbot. Anna Maria Taylor. Christopher Michael Tippins, magna cum laude. Anthony Toscano, magna cum laude. Samantha Lee Toscano. Aaron Joseph Tracy. Brian Anthony Trenfalia. Olivier Viel, magna cum laude. Carter M. Wilhelm. Taylor Elizabeth Wilkinson. Penny L. Williams, summa cum laude. Stephen Weiss. Bianca Lynn Yeagle.
candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree will please rise. President Mooney, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates who have successfully completed curricula offered by Franklin Pierce University and have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Pierce University, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. The names of the graduates will be read by Professor of English Donna Decker.
Amanda M. Moore, summa cum laude. Heather Marie Amer, magna cum laude. Kimberly C. Antunes, magna cum laude. Nicholas John Arena. Michaela Jane Balmer, magna cum laude. Christian Rodriguez Barbosa. Nicole Elise Bolivar. Brandon Christopher Boggs. Nicholas Alexander Bowden, magna cum laude. Cara Elizabeth Brazel. Andrew Carpino, magna cum laude. Corey Richard Cataldo, magna cum laude. Emily Elaine Catuccio, magna cum laude. John Sebastian Cha-Cha, summa cum laude. Benjamin M. Cobley. Shannon Eileen Coffey. Crystal Colon, cum laude. Caitlin Rachel Condon. Antonella Corletto, cum laude. Danielle B. Crawford, magna cum laude. Danny Cressy, summa cum laude. Courtney Cribben. Molly Reed Crotty. Kayla Alexandria Cunningham, cum laude. Michaela N. Daguerre. Patrick William Delaney. Scott Joseph Delora. Tyler Douglas Desatel. Casey Josephine Diana. Nicholas R. DeSaya, cum laude. Crystal Blair Dover. Whitney Miguel Dowds, magna cum laude. Thomas Dinan. Jacques Elias. Jacqueline Virginia Flaherty, magna cum laude. Jasmine Imani Fogel. Elizabeth Diane Francie Moret. Benjamin T. French, magna cum laude. Julie Ann Gallagher. Marissa May Gamble. Tyler Nicholas Giordano. Dante James Gittens. Erin Ellen Glavin. Sean Robert Gray, magna cum laude. David Lewis Hamilton, Jr. Kelsey Lorraine Hausman, summa cum laude. John R. Holmes, summa cum laude. Amanda Leah Horrocks, summa cum laude. Devin Pierce Janelle, cum laude. Edward Anthony Jordan. Michaela Jordan. Stephanie Alana Jessam. Michelle Casper. Megan Madeline Keeler. Kristen Lee Cozy, magna cum laude. Jessie Bristol Lowe. Courtney Rose Lowell. Alexander Gregory Malm. Dante John Maravelli IV. Courtney Lee Marston. Rafael Carlos Martinez. Catherine E. Matthews, magna cum laude. Lainey Miyako Matsumoto. Connor Patrick Morrow. Sean Patrick McCarrick, magna cum laude. Robert James Myers, cum laude. Samantha Migliaccio. Emily Teresa Moore. Philip Edward Moran. Grace Osarfo Akoto. Allison Lorraine Palma, cum laude. Keenan T. Phillips, cum laude. Kayla Phipps, cum laude. Alexander Nishan Powell. Yeah, pal. Naomi Elizabeth Reed. Joshua Roberts, cum laude. Matthew Scoville. Robert Gerald Sequara. Samuel Steves. Lauren Alyssa Steinhardt, magna cum laude. Ashley Ann Stevens. Catherine Page Tersoni. Kimberly A. Theodore. Alexandra Nicole Thornton, cum laude. Maria Danica Nicole F. Thorogood, cum laude. Shannon Alexandra Tai. Christina Trovato. Danielle Lee Turcott, magna cum laude. Patience Efoa Niakum Turkson. Tala Mae Wilson, summa cum laude.
The candidates for the Associate of Arts degree will please rise. President Mooney, it is my privilege to present to you the candidates who have successfully completed curricula offered by Franklin Pierce University and have been recommended by the faculty to be awarded appropriate degrees in recognition of their academic accomplishments.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Franklin Pierce University, I do hereby confer upon you the degree of Associate of Arts with all honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining.
Heather M. Jutras. Helen K. Matson.
Would Bob Riley, class of '82, please come forward? Bob will speak on behalf of the Alumni Association.
Thank you, President Mooney. As I've been patiently waiting and waiting to come forward, all I could think about is my hands are cold and my foot has fallen asleep. Don't fall, don't fall. Well, good afternoon, graduates. My name is Bob Riley. I'm president of the Franklin Pierce University Alumni Association. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to speak to you as students during the baccalaureate service. Today, I'm here to officially welcome you as alumni of Franklin Pierce University. I'm genuinely honored to share in today's graduation ceremony with you. I'd have to say it's a very special experience to address you. Let me point out there are a number of other Alumni Board of Directors here today to share in your day, to recognize and acknowledge your accomplishments. Today's graduates are indeed welcome as our newest alums. Franklin Pierce has now touched and impacted the lives of 19,000 graduates. As individuals and as a graduating class, you all add value to the Franklin Pierce alumni family as our newest members. We all share a common experience with one another, perhaps separated by a span of years. Whether you're from the class of '67, celebrating its 50th anniversary, my class of 1982, in President Mooney's case, 1983, or this graduating class, we are forever joined and forever tied to this university. Franklin Pierce has touched each and every one of us. So what's next? As you take your next steps to pursue your futures, you will explore and pursue lots of opportunities. Life simply awaits you. Go out and share your enthusiasm with the investment you've made in yourselves. Experience life, share your success stories, and come home often. I say come home in the context that Franklin Pierce is an extended family. You are welcome home, and there's a genuine welcome and appreciation for returning alums. This school is simply more alive, with alums playing a role to visit, to participate, and support in its future and success. So while you are graduating, you are truly not leaving. Our alumni body, as well as the university, will be stronger with the involvement of this graduating class. Think of the resource that 19,000 Franklin Pierce alums offer this world, your communities, and this university. In closing, University Drive that leads you away from campus today to start the next chapter in your life also brings you home to Franklin Pierce. Come home often. You know the way here. I ask the graduates to take a moment to look to your right and then look to your left. Individually, in every seat, our alums play a role in Franklin Pierce's future and its success. That's our role as alumni. It's a great responsibility that we share with one another. You'll ultimately be remembered for how many people you touch in a positive way. we, yes, we, are vessels of Franklin Pierce University's legacy. Thank you very much.
Well, I have loved your enthusiasm today. Congratulations to the graduates. We've got a little bit more thank youing to do. I think you, the graduates, would like to pay a tribute to your families and to your faculty who are here with you today. I actually think you can do a little better than that. Your families and your faculty. Thank you. So I now have to ask you to move your mortarboard tassels from the right to the left side. And in closing this ceremony, I thank each and every one of you for joining together in celebration of the class of 2017. This is our 52nd commencement exercises. And I want to echo Bob Riley when I say with sincerity, you are always welcome back to this academic home. Please come back, please visit, please participate. I know you will continue to make us proud in all that you do. Our motto, ex umbris ad lucem. Remember that, ex umbris ad lucem, out of the darkness into the light. That is where we send you today. Sincere congratulations. Thank you all.